Peace and clarity, everyone. Peace and clarity. So, welcome to another episode of Earthen Vessel in the Process of Time, the documentary. And this episode, I'm gonna give you kind of an update on what we're growing. The star of the show is the plants. They are the earthen vessels that I am learning from. The soil is teaching me. Soil is teaching. Now, so with that being said, the soil is teaching me. Well, I guess the next logical question is, what have you learned? The term earthen vessel. And I know y'all see some smoke behind me. I got the charcoals going. So again, yeah, thank you for hitting that button. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, comment, share, let some people know that you're following this weird guy who's in the garden. Okay, back to what I was saying. We have 4 grow bags, all right? And so the soil has taught me that there's different ways to approach in the ground versus in a raised bed versus in a raised bag versus directly in the ground, but with confinement, or in the ground, but in the ground with natural covering, extremely natural covering that is similar to a forest floor. So the soil has taught me to look at where the roots and the soil meet. I think that's probably one of the more accurate ways to explain what I am talking about. So growing in a bag is different than growing in a raised bed, but growing in a raised bed is different than growing in a wooden raised bed versus a metal raised bed. And then also what goes in the bed. What goes in the bed makes a difference, as in what the foundation of the bed is. So yeah, this episode is just different. It's just really gonna be a different one to try to explain in the opening. But I'm gonna hit that time-lapse button. And the time-lapse button give you a little insight on the making of these beds, these 400-gallon beds.
Hey! What a beautiful day, yeah.
show y'all this radish. Yeah, that's a big radish. Our method, and like I said, it is a method. Let me be clear. It is a method, not the method, not the you know. I've figured this out, and you no, there's none of that. This will be the tour. Let me kind of walk you through some of the zones that we're trying to establish. I think that's the best way to explain it. We have grow zones. So each grow zone has its own, you know, needs. So the beds that are in the greenhouse, that's a grow zone. And that grow zone, you know, extends beyond just the outdoor zone. So that's zone one. Then we have the brassicas and such in the metal raised beds. So we got your collard greens, your turnip greens, your kale, the pumpkin, the long pumpkin. I wonder if this is a Brussels sprout. That's why it's important to name all your stuff, because you have to wait till they get a little bigger before you can tell exactly what they are. But yeah, that's one zone. That's one raised metal bed grow zone. And then in this one, we have oreganos, Greek and Italian. And then we have four peppers. Yeah, Fresno, bell, sweet, and scotch. Of course, dill. We got carrots up front. And then we have the radishes, which the radishes look like there. Then we have potato bag as well as fennel. So this is a grow zone. All right. Now back to the four beds. So we got Paul Robeson. Then we have the Black Beauty eggplants, along with Maldabar spinach and cowpeas. All go up this. And then we have the midnight snack tomatoes, along with Maldabar spinach, all gonna go up and down here. And then we have the peanut bag. And this is our pepper bed. So I have zones, and the zones that I operate have certain mixes as far as the soil composition. Over time, in the process of time, you'll get it. This is our asparagus bed, so this is really more of a longer, it's more of a patience project. It takes about 3 years to get them to where you can, harvest them and enjoy them. So we gotta let the roots develop further. And then this is our vine. This is one of our vining beds. I haven't really figured out if I'm gonna do like an archway type thing or what, but it has yellow watermelon and a couple other viners. As you can see, it's a lot of yellow watermelon vines in here. So that's really the focus: cucumbers and beans and pumpkin and nostrum and some beans. But this, I think I'm gonna have to do sort of like a trellis thing for these two. I don't know, pumpkin. They might just want to float. Maybe I'll take this or this. These are the sugar. These are those sugar cube cantaloupes. So maybe they'll go up the trellis over here. I don't know. We're gonna figure this one out. This one is so not only is it an experiment in growing, but it's also an experiment in uh, trellising and just learning what the plants want to do and what versus what you want them to do. Uh, I didn't patch this back up. That was me. This wasn't the squirrels. We have busy squirrels, but they didn't do that to this bed. I moved some of these yesterday and I didn't close that back up. So this is our yard long bean and Maldabar spinach and our tomato bed. And it had a purple calabash, which you can see we have. We are also a grocery store for various creatures, um, and they will come by from time to time and you know enjoy the fruit. And in this case, they ain't even wait for the fruit. They just tore up the plant. Um, but yeah, this is our another one of our vining beds. So beans, tomatoes, what's that? Brandywine and purple calabash. And so we're gonna figure out what that bed will do and how we'll trellis. Maybe it'll be some sort of trellis, and we'll walk through. I don't know. And then over here, you get a sneak peek at the orchard. So this is the orchard. Got apple trees, plum trees. We got some bare root nectarine and peach trying to wake up. And it's still a little cool. That Japanese plum is not playing. And then over here, we've got our some more watermelon. These are red. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you. By the way, these are yellow. I think I said it. Something interesting that I learned about yellow watermelons is they're kind of based on beta carotene, like carrots, and that's good to know. And red watermelons, uh, like these over here, the red watermelons, those are lycopene based, like the tomato. A watermelon that's got carrot juice and a watermelon that's got tomato juice. And then there's the corn. And then this is the backside of our tea plants. We've already had the first flush. That's pretty good. Yeah. Maybe we should do a video on how we convert our tea into oolong. That's a really fun video. That is an aromatic video. I wish y'all could smell it. The tea is definitely, yeah, that might be the next video. And then we have the muscadines. And the muscadines, they are, they trying to show up this season. We got some large clusters in here we gotta protect. Yeah, you see what I mean? It's, they will be taken care of if we don't take care of them. You feel me? So muscadines, we got some. We're still gonna make a few slips. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll make a video. Maybe that'll be the time lapse. I think I got a lot of these. Some of them were small when I first tried to. Yeah, we got a few bags, but I'm already kind of covered. So we don't see it. They've gone through one rain, so they work. bags work. Well, almost. This one getting off. Oh, it's coming off. Let's get you covered back up. Yeah, I have to do that without the camera in my hand. So, we got some pretty large clusters in here we want to protect. And then there's the olive trees. Yeah, Burkina olives. Yeah, here in Georgia with the right mix. They've already been through one winter, and they were in these big pots, and they had to come out of those because when the spring came, they were like, this is not working for us. And I put them in the ground, and whoo, you talking about happy. The new growth is it's moving. And then we have the cherry trees. These dwarf varieties, I'm gonna try to keep them small. But cherries, let's see. See if we can make that, fruitful. And then, yep, it's an avocado tree. And it does not like the cold. So we're gonna try to figure this one out. This one is going in the greenhouse for now. I mean, it's out for the summer, but I don't think it really wants to be in true Georgia weather. So we're gonna have to figure this one out. We might have to create an environment for it to thrive. It's a tree, but I don't know. Something in me said try. Now the blueberries. These are these are pink lemonade. Pink lemonade. They're delicious. And then the grapevine. And this is probably the last time you will see it in this form because I think this is going to come off and we're going to work with these cordons. I think that's how this is going to go. So all of that growth right there for this summer is really going into the roots, help developing the roots. But after this season in January, we're going to remove that and then we're going to train these to more traditional, I guess, if you will. We're learning. We're learning. We are learning.